Financial inclusion is prominently featured in the Sustainable Development Goals. There is no doubting the potential it has to lift many into a better, more dignified existence. Africa remains a continent with many challenges. However, its innovators are rising up and creating solutions that are ensuring the continent continues to register tremendous progress by way of digital financial inclusion. In Africa, HiPipo remains foremost in financial inclusion advocacy. It recently facilitated the biggest gathering of FinTechs and sector stakeholders yet.
40 Days for the FinTechs initiative is intended to shine a spotlight on transformative stories in FinTech that are changing millions of lives. We sought to create a level playing field and invited the old and new players. And I must admit, the turn-up was fantastic.
Pegasus Technologies started in 2007, and largely it started to do what we call at the time bill payments. The idea was to make sure that people could pay their bill in the comfort of their homes on any day of the week at any time without having to go to the institutions that were offering these bills. And we're talking about people like institutions like National Water, institutions like UMEME, institutions like URA, institutions like DSTV. So the ability to be able to do that was one of the things that we founded ourselves to do. We've then gone ahead to do things like bulk payments, which we also do, and then of course e-commerce that now allows anyone in Uganda selling goods or services to accept payments using card. And this payment could come from anywhere in the world. Anyone that has a card is able to do an online payment for your goods and services, especially people in the hospitality industries.
HiPipo was started because of problems of bulk payouts of farmers in rural settings where we couldn't find mortar and brick. Farmers were being paid 2 weeks late after waiting a whole 4 months for your crop to grow, and then you wait again another month. So when we started HiPipo, we decided to talk to the MNOs, the mobile companies, and to aggregate the service on our platform.
True African is a financial technology enabler that deploys customized software to address specific business needs. We are the biggest mobile banking aggregator in this country, with a profile of over 12 commercial banks, and we've been in this market for 18 solid years.
Softbox is a company that has specialized in creation of animations and information systems.
Lusuku is an e-commerce platform doing fresh food delivery. You access our website on www.lusuku.ug. So basically all you'll find there are items that are grown in the garden. Lusuku means a garden in our vernacular. So anything that is grown in the garden can be found on our platform. Then you purchase, add to your cart, pay online or cash on delivery depending on your preferred payment mode.
Merchandise Uganda is a business community. It is an online marketplace that helps to connect businesses in Uganda to, first of all, the local market and also to the global market. Now, with Merchandise Uganda, we help people that have businesses. For example, a carpenter that has a workshop in the physical space. We help him or her get an online shop.
When we started in 2006, our big idea had been to offer low-cost, cheap international calls to the general public. We wanted to take advantage of the new licenses which the Uganda Communications Commission was giving to companies interested in joining the telecom sector. A significant turning point in our business came with the launch of mobile money services. First with M-Pesa in Kenya, 2007, and mobile money in Uganda in 2009. We saw a great opportunity to extend the use of mobile money and the benefits of mobile money to organizations and businesses beyond the person-to-person transfers which originally the service was intended for. Since then, we've been privileged to have enabled more than 30,000 businesses in Uganda and more than 135,000 farmers to integrate the use of mobile payments, digital financial services into their day-to-day operations and lives. We still see that there is great opportunity in the fintech space, and we do see a very bright future in Uganda regionally and also the world at large.
Bionic is an enterprise digital payments platform that enables businesses to send funds and collect funds in bulk. So you can send payments to over 1,000 beneficiaries, 100, 250, whatever number you would like to. But even as a business collecting payments and offering services to people, you can collect those payments from anybody on any network. And beyond that, we actually equip you with the tools that you need to reconcile your payments, to know who has paid you and who you are paying, and therefore enabling you manage the challenges that you would otherwise be facing with cash transactions.
Call it obvious, but the first thing for the FinTechs initiative offered to the participants is the chance to say, I am so and so, this is what I do, and this is how we can collaborate.
I've been very impressed with the 40 Days 40 FinTechs because for me, from the outside looking in, I see it as a great opportunity to shine a light and point out those innovative stories around fintech that have come out, especially the developments. More than half of the fintechs that have been featured, I did not know about. These are fintechs that are in my ecosystem. They're taking place in Uganda, developed in Uganda, they're operating in Uganda, and I, as a consumer of platforms and fintech technology, I didn't actually know about them.
40 Days 40 FinTechs has been, for me, an enlightening experience. Sitting in a corporation like MTN, sometimes you don't see these small businesses that are coming up with such innovative ideas. So I'd like to thank the HiPipo team for putting together this initiative and pulling in companies like MTN to see how we can collaborate, how we can assist some of these fintechs, these organizations fulfill their agenda, especially in the financial inclusion arm.
FinTech is not exactly the most common area for public relations. So to get an opportunity like this with HiPipo, I think is extremely commendable.
The 40 Day 40 FinTechs initiative is a very, very laudable idea. It has brought together all the FinTechs literally within the economy. It has also enabled us to know what each other of us is doing. For example, there are 70 very strong FinTechs within the Ugandan market. And it's very exciting to see and to know what all of us are doing.
When we joined 40 Days 40 FinTechs, we were actually very excited because we were thinking, wow, no one has actually given FinTechs that kind of mileage and coverage. And we truly, truly appreciate. Just in the last 1 or 2 weeks, I have received several calls, people requesting about my business, and all because of the coverage. And so kudos to HiPipo for organizing this event, and we hope you'll make it a yearly event because most of the startups and SMEs don't have funds to run such a beautiful campaign.
40 Days 40 FinTechs, we actually were the very first FinTech to be featured, and it immediately opened up a new world for us in the sense that we got a lot of, pretty much overnight, we got a lot of people calling and reaching out, asking about our solutions and wanting to use them. So for us, it has been a huge opportunity for just shining a light on what we are doing, what we've been doing for all these years, and putting us in the spotlight and letting people know what we are doing. And we immediately saw a turnaround in prospects that we've had various levels of discussions with, and those discussions are still ongoing.
40 Days 40 FinTechs has been a very, very great initiative. It has helped us showcase what we do and we have greatly also learned on open source and products that other fintechs are working on that we can also, tap in, because not all the time that we are developing new software or reinventing the wheel, but we can leverage on what is already there, platforms that are already being used by other fintechs to provide services to our customers and any other person who wants to learn or use our financial solutions.
I'd like to give credit to HiPipo for organizing 40 days, 40 FinTechs. It has given us the publicity that we have always been looking for. It has brought not only people like us, players like us, but all the other different players who are doing awesome, amazing work in the FinTech space. And then also it has brought about collaboration, because now we also know who's doing what. So instead of reinventing the wheel, we're able to collaborate, we're able to share the pie. It has opened up creativity, it has opened up partnerships, it has also opened up dialogues in terms of what we can achieve together than if we stand alone.
Through these 40 days, 40 fintechs that I learned about Lusuku, which is an indigenous Ugandan fintech, developed for Ugandans, developed by Ugandans, is touching agriculture, which every Ugandan knows. We know about agriculture. That's the biggest sector in Uganda, actually. It's touching the person who really needs their stuff to go out from their farm to the end consumer and cutting out the middleman. Because we all know the problems that farmers are suffering from. They put in all the time to grow the crop, and at the end, someone comes and dictates the price. And they're not dictating the price on behalf of the consumer. They're dictating the price so they make a profit because they are the middleman. Then the consumer pays also a high price.
I'm really glad for the 40 Days and 40 FinTechs initiative, because, by the virtue of us coming together as players in the financial technology space, we get to collaborate, find partners, and have ideas on how to actually welcome Uganda and the rest of Africa to the digital global economy. As you can see, many people are being left out in terms of percentage. We see 98% of Africans being still in the old, inefficient way of doing things. They're using cash. And we're saying with such initiatives, we're able to sensitize the whole market and to help them compete more favorably in the global economy, because the digital is the future and the future is now.
Government remains a crucial stakeholder in ensuring that the fintech ecosystem works. And of course, 40 Days for the FinTechs invited them to join the conversation.
What you have done today, I think it is our dream. It's where we are heading to. And because of this COVID, we realized that there is a lot to explore as far as use of ICT is concerned, especially in the financial sector. You realize that maybe even the small people who wouldn't have had the opportunity to invest or bank money in big financial institutions can now have e-services that are protected using the different companies that are participating in this venture. So it's a timely venture, and I think it will go a long way in providing services, especially to Ugandan communities, and we are proud of you.
What is good to note is that they are all private sector led, and this one complements the role of government. Of course, government comes in with the support role of the legal and regulatory framework, making sure that we have the ICT infrastructure.
I think HiPipo and the 40 Days 40 FinTechs platform is a good initiative, and I believe the opportunities of partnership between NITA and HiPipo or 40 Days 40 FinTechs, especially around because for FinTechs, some of the challenges include regulation and how to be able to exist in the right way, how to provide secure services, and also how to monetize their different innovations. So I think straight from training around the different laws, the cyber laws that we have in place, such as the Data Protection and Privacy Act, the Computer Misuse Act, Electronic Transactions Act, and the Electronic Signature Act. Those 4 laws are important, especially for the fintechs, because they provide the framework within which they exist.
Of course, we have challenges, especially internet access is still low, but government is trying all it can. You know, the broadband policy was kind of implemented, and the telecom companies are all encouraged to make sure they supply quality links and cover the entire nation, as opposed to being in pockets where we have very high concentrations of people.
My message to the HiPipo, I will say that as a ministry, we are ready. We are ready to work with them. I have seen they have good ideas that can be developed further. So we believe that if we partner with HiPipo, then we'll go a long way in getting our plans being realized as a ministry.
Although the initiative was dubbed 40 Days for the FinTechs, we remain open to the fact that there are very many other players in the ecosystem. We were proud and excited to have given a kickstart to one new amazing FinTech.
Mikila is an organization that helps generate solutions to problems facing young people. So at this time we came up with an initiative called the Yafe Salons. Yafe Salons is an online platform that will help link up customers to salon owners. Yafe Salons is aiming at solving a problem of time wastage, whereby we realize that clients go to the salon and they find maybe there are other many people, so you need to sit and wait. So due to avoidance of that tiredness, time wastage and overcrowding at the salon, and also the salon owner working on pressure, we thought that our platform would help, whereby if you tapped on the platform, it will show you book and it will show the calendar of the salon owner. So you're able to know that at this time there is a person the salon owner is supposed to work on, and at another time there is a person. So meaning you'll be given the real time whereby the salon owner is ready to work on you.
As part of the way forward, we introduced the FinTechs to Level 1 project principals as a way to help them design global standard payment systems. The other thing HiPipo is taking lead on is interoperability. Together with our partners, HiPipo Foundation, Modusbox, and Level 1 projects, we helped introduce the FinTechs to HiPipo open source software that is to help them develop interoperable payment solutions.
For a digital economy to transform into a fully cashless economy, you need digital to be more trusted. You need digital to feel like fiat currency, whereby if someone gives you a fiat currency, a paper of $100 or 50,000 Uganda shillings, everywhere you go with this paper, no one is going to question you or to say, for this 50,000, for me to receive it, now give me 100 shillings. No, everyone will take it in its value of 50,000. Now, for us on the financial inclusion side, who are driving digital currency, who are driving to see a cash-light economy and later a cashless economy, we need to achieve that with interoperability. You need someone to be able to be convinced and to trust that if they are going to move money from one bank to a telco to another financial institution, if that money was 50,000, they're not going to have a cost in moving this money that will make it feel like they're losing 10% of the money.
If I am a customer and I come out and I'm like, okay, I want to buy airtime, and I have a different airtime platform, I have a different mobile money platform, I have a different bank platform, I would really feel like it's inconveniencing for me. But if I find all that I want in one place, I would actually really be very comfortable. So I appreciate Module for what they have done, trying to identify the different players in the fintech industry and bringing them together to provide one common service to customers from the high end and also to the low income earners. And I believe it's a very good initiative, and they should keep it up.
If you asked me 10 years ago, whenever you spoke about interoperability, it was a very far-fetched idea. But thanks to HiPipo and thanks also to the Mojalup team, that now we have a platform called Mojalup that basically seeks to bring all of us together, not just on a social front, but also on a technical front as well. Without the technical infrastructure and interoperability options in place, it becomes very difficult to meet the financial inclusion agenda and the demands of it. But with a highly interoperable platform, it enables all the players to come together in a concerted way to meet the demands of financial inclusion.
We are so excited to be part of the HiPipo 40 Days 40 FinTech program. We've learned so much about what Mojalib can do for us in the future, and the goal of that partnership is that we will be able to provide our businesses with more connections, that is telecom connections and bank connections. What that means is that your customers don't have to pick and choose how to access your services. You can efficiently pay them on any network, any bank through this Mojalib connection, or collect from them from any of those different platforms.
But over and above that, it allows innovation and creativity, and as more and more people add to it, it becomes a richer piece of software that anyone can then use. So that has been one of the advantages of Mojalib. And for a long time, software like that lacked leadership. Yes, it was a piece of good software out there, but there was no deliberate or concerted effort in taking it out to the people. People like HiPipo have come on to offer that leadership that was lacking. And they've brought together the industry and said, hey, look, there is this thing called Mojalib, a piece of software. Why don't we all use it? Why don't we all contribute to it? HiPipo has come, and I'm glad that they've had forums like this. What forums like this do is not only do they create awareness, but they also create a culture of collaboration in the industry. So HiPipo must be applauded for doing this, and I think the pledge from us and from the industry, some of us are the pioneers of the industry, I think the pledge from us is that we will work hand in hand to advance some of these causes, to fit in the leadership gaps that have been identified, because for me this bridges a leadership gap, but also to encourage young people that are beginning to look into the industry and to see if there are any opportunities there, to take their hand and hold them and show them this is the journey that we've been on. These are the tools available to you. This is how you can access these tools. This is how you can use these tools. This is how you can allow yourself to grow.
Interoperability means that we can develop so many things using open source software. That means developers can take that source code and be able to build amazing products over it, and which we are going to be interacting across even borders in the next couple of years. It will be very, very interesting to see how people continue to use the open source code, how they continue to collaborate as teams even across the world, and be able to see how they are going to use the source code.
Mojalib has made it easier to widen our operational space. You know, it is very important when you can find different players and different services that you need at one point.
The advantage of having interoperability in the ecosystem is the fact that transactions will be made cheaper. And if transactions are made cheaper, that means people who are already earning very little money can be able to actually transact and make payments over the mobile money platform. And when they make the payments on the platform, we are able to see that data and qualify them to be able to get a loan, which is a very good situation, because then we are able to have more people access finance, hence improving financial inclusion, which is one of the major and core values.
Within 3 to 5 years or longer, which is the medium to long term, we then expect to see much more technically rooted interoperability solutions, whereby if it's a telco in a market like Uganda, if it's a bank in a market like Uganda, once it's designing its platform, at the center of it, it has inbuilt Mojalib as an interface, which prepares it for interoperability. I expect to see that coming up. I expect to see the central bank in a market like Uganda, in a market like Kenya, Tanzania, Congo, Zambia. I expect to see these central banks setting up what we call central switches, which promote interoperability. And these central switches would be rooted in level 1 principles and using modular loop as a technology holistically or with additions to this kind of technology.
We feel the inaugural 40 Days for the FinTechs initiative was fantastic. And now that we've introduced interoperability to the players, we believe they have all it takes to play a major role in helping the world achieve full financial inclusion soon.
So the question is, how do we move from, I can say knots, okay, and we cross to e-commerce, doing business online. Let it be marketing, let it be even receiving payments, let it even actually cross to the interaction between a client or a customer and a service provider. So it is very important that at this note, HiPipo is bringing on this topic, this discussion.
I'll just say a quick thank you to HiPipo for what they're doing, not only with 40 Days, 40 FinTechs. I know they are really, instrumental in what's happening in the fintech space, but also in the media space. Because what has been missing in the landscape has been coverage, right? So people are doing amazing things behind closed doors. There is not one company which has been coming out to showcase what's happening with all the fintechs, and so HiPipo is at the front line of doing this. So they have merged their media prowess with the fintech industry, and I know that because of companies like HiPipo, we have begun to get the mileage we deserve in the ecosystem, and I want to just encourage them to go on going forward with this 40 Days, 40 FinTechs, with the Digital Impact Awards, and all the amazing products that they are the pioneer of.
For me, I think the future of the industry is collaboration. But you cannot collaborate if you don't know each other, if you have no forums that bring you together. And so 40 Days, 40 FinTechs allows people to come together. It allows them to share ideas, allows them to collaborate. Anecdotally, for me, I just met someone here who is in the agriculture value chain, and it's something I've been wanting to work with. So I've met someone that we can now share ideas and collaborate and see how to enhance that. So I'm really happy. I'm excited about this opportunity. I hope it's the first of many. I hope there will be sufficient funding for some of these things, and we should be happy to contribute because we need to have skin in the game.
We thank our partners, Crosslex Technologies, Modusbox, Modular Loop Foundation, and Level 1 Project. This couldn't have happened without your support. We're also thankful to God the Almighty. Stay safe and see you next year.